The dream of the high-stakes mercenary life doesn't start with a Hollywood-style extraction mission. It starts with a clipboard, a heavy ceramic vest, and 12 hours of standing in 110-degree heat. You have just signed your first contract with Triple Canopy. You aren't a special operator yet. You are a static guard. You are the gatekeeper. Your world is defined by the Entry Control Point, ECP. Whether you are stationed at the edge of a green zone in a fractured capital or guarding a multi-billion-dollar oil refinery in the middle of a desert, your job is the same. Stay alert, check IDs, and keep the chaos outside from coming in. You are the first line of defense for a massive corporate or government machine. The lifestyle is a grind. You wake up in a shipping container pod at 4 a.m., eat a tray of scrambled eggs in a mess hall filled with soldiers and other contractors, and then you kit up. The gear is heavy, and the dust gets into everything: your rifle, your boots, and your lungs. You spend your day staring at a line of white SUVs and local trucks. You search undercarriages with mirrors. You check badges against a digital database. You are a human filter. The pay is better than any civilian security job, but you are trading your time for danger pay. At this rank, you are learning the Triple Canopy corporate culture. It isn't just about being a good shot, it's about professionalism. One mistake, missing a fake ID or failing a drug test, and you are on a plane home within 24 hours. You realize that in the PMC world, you are an asset with a serial number. You watch the Tier 2 guys driving out of the gate in armored convoys, and you realize that to move up, you have to prove you can handle the boredom before you can be trusted with the adrenaline. You've handed over the clipboard and the mirror. You've proven that you can handle the heat and the discipline of the gates. Now the company moves you outside the wire. You are a Tier 2 operator, specifically a convoy specialist. Your office is no longer a stationary gate. It is the inside of an up-armored SUV or a massive logistics truck moving through the red zone. This is where the job becomes a combat career. Your mission is the protection of supply chains. You are moving millions of dollars in equipment, fuel, or food across high-threat terrain. At this rank, you aren't just a guard, you are a mobile fortress. You spend your days studying MSRs, main supply routes, looking for the telltale signs of a disturbed patch of dirt that could hide an IED, improvised explosive device. The training shifts toward high-speed tactics. You learn how to pit a civilian vehicle that gets too close to the convoy. You learn break contact drills, how to suppress an ambush while your driver maneuvers the multi-ton vehicle out of the kill zone. You spend more on your own gear now, upgrading your communications and your optics, because at 60 miles per hour on a hostile highway, a split second of clarity is the difference between a paycheck and a memorial service. The mental pressure increases. You are no longer in a safe zone. Every bridge, every overpass, and every stalled car on the shoulder is a potential threat. You develop a 360-degree awareness that never truly turns off. You start to see your salary not as a wage, but as a risk-to-reward calculation. You are earning your way toward the elite world of personal security. But first, you have to survive the roads where the rules are written in lead and diesel. You've left the dusty convoys and the heavy trucks behind. You've moved into the premier league of private security. You are now a PSD specialist, personal security detail. You are no longer protecting crates of equipment or fuel tankers. You are protecting a high-value asset, HVA. This could be a U.S. ambassador, a Fortune 500 CEO visiting a war zone, or a high-ranking foreign official. At this level, the uniform changes. The baggy camo and heavy boots are replaced by low-profile tactical gear, or even a tailored suit with a hidden armor vest. You have to look professional enough for a boardroom, but be ready to start a gunfight in a split second. This is the art of dignitary protection. You are a human shield, but a very expensive, highly trained one. The skills required here are much more technical than just shooting. You master advanced defensive driving, learning how to J-turn a 2-ton armored limo in a narrow alleyway. You learn advanced work, scouting a hotel or a meeting site hours before the client arrives to map out every exit and every safe room. You are constantly scanning for the long gun, snipers, and the close-in threat, assassins. The psychological shift is massive. When you were a convoy specialist, you fought to save the truck. Now your life is legally and contractually tied to the client. If something goes wrong, you don't take cover, you move and cover, moving the client to safety while using your own body as the barrier. You are earning the big money now, but you are living in a high-stress bubble. You see the world through a series of arrivals and departures, and you realize that at this rank, your reputation is your only currency. One mistake on a detail, and your career in the elite circles is over. You have transitioned from being a component of the shield to being the one who moves the shield. You are now a team leader. You are no longer just responsible for your own gear and your own sector. You are responsible for the lives of a 4 to 6 man team and the total safety of the client. This is where your value to Triple Canopy doubles, but so does your liability. At this rank, the job is 30% tactical and 70% coordination. You are the ground commander during a mission. While your team scans the crowds, you are the one on the radio with the operations center, tracking satellite feeds, weather patterns, and local intelligence reports. You are the one who has to make the go, no-go decision. If a route looks too dangerous or a crowd feels too hostile, you are the one who pulls the plug, even if the client is unhappy. The challenge here is the legal and bureaucratic minefield. Every country has different rules of engagement, or ROE. You have to know exactly when your team is legally allowed to draw their weapons and when they must keep them hidden. A single unauthorized shot from one of your men can end a multi-million-dollar corporate contract and land you in a foreign prison. You are a tactical manager, balancing the safety of the mission against the legal survival of the company. The psychological toll changes from fear for your own life to the weight of command. You aren't just a shooter anymore. You're a mentor and a judge. You have to identify which team member is burning out and which one is becoming too aggressive. You are the bridge between the grit of the field and the polish of the corporate office. You realize that at this rank, your weapon is no longer your rifle, it's your radio and your judgment. The transition is finally complete. You have traded your plate carrier for a tailored suit and your rifle for a high-end laptop. You are now a project manager. You no longer live in the hot zone, you live in the logistics. You are the architect of the missions that Level 1 through 4 operatives carry out. At this rank, you are responsible for the sustainment of an entire region, managing 500-plus contractors, a fleet of armored vehicles, and multi-million-dollar budgets. Your world is now built on risk mitigation and operational logistics. When a government or a massive corporation needs a security solution in a failing state, they call you. You are the one who writes the bid. You calculate the cost of fuel, the price of local intelligence, the salaries of your men, and the insurance premiums for the high-value assets. You are playing a high-stakes game of corporate chess, where war is just another line item on a spreadsheet. The complexity of this rank is purely administrative and diplomatic. You spend your days in meetings with embassy officials, local tribal leaders, and corporate boards. You have to ensure that Triple Canopy remains in good standing. This means navigating the corruption of local governments while maintaining the strict legal standards of Western contracts. You are the one who handles the crisis management. If a team gets pinned down or a legal disaster occurs, you are the one who has to solve it from a boardroom 3,000 miles away. The psychological cost is a new kind of detachment. You begin to see the operatives in the field as head counts and the missions as deliverables. You realize that the front line is actually the easiest part of the business. The real war is fought over contracts, compliance, and the bottom line. You are the contract architect, turning the chaos of a conflict zone into a profitable, organized corporate enterprise. You have reached the pinnacle of the private military world. You are no longer managing a project, you are managing a global landscape. As the Director of Global Risk, you sit in the executive suite of Triple Canopy's headquarters. Your salary,
Bonuses and stock options now put you in the $500,000 plus bracket. You are a corporate titan whose battles are fought in international boardrooms and at high-level security summits in Davos or Washington, D.C. At this rank, your primary role is geopolitical forecasting. You don't look at maps to find ambush points. You look at maps to predict where the next coup, civil war, or resource crisis will happen. You are the one who advises multinational corporations on whether it is safe to invest billions in a developing nation. If you say a region is too high risk, the money stops flowing. You have the power to influence the economy of entire countries simply by adjusting the threat level in your quarterly reports. The job is a masterclass in high-stakes diplomacy. You navigate the relationships between private capital and state power. You are the bridge between the Pentagon, the State Department, and the private sector. You manage the macro risk, ensuring that while your company profits from instability, it never becomes a political liability. You aren't just selling security, you are selling certainty in an uncertain world. The ending of your career is one of quiet, absolute perspective. You stand at the window of your penthouse office, looking down on the city. You remember the heat of the gate at level 1 and the adrenaline of the convoy at level 2. But from up here, the world looks like a clean, logical grid. You realize that war and peace are just different market conditions. You see a young man in the lobby below, adjusting his tie and checking his watch, a new recruit ready for his first interview. You don't feel nostalgia, you feel the satisfaction of a master architect watching a machine he helped build. You have turned the world's most dangerous profession into a refined global science. You are the director, the one who turned the chaos of the hot zone into a $500,000 a year legacy. The dust is gone. The noise is gone. There is only the silence of the top floor.